I thought she was joking. The call came in the middle of a Tuesday, right as I was closing out a project at work. Her name flashed on my phone, and I answered with a smile I didn't know would be the last normal moment of my marriage. Hey, what's up? Her voice was flat, no warmth, no rush, just final. I just inherited millions, she said. Pack your things, get out of my house. I laughed, a short, confused sound. Good one, what's really going on? I'm not joking, she replied. I'm done carrying you. The line went dead. I sat there staring at the screen, waiting for the second call, the one where she'd say she was emotional, overwhelmed, in shock. It never came. My wife, Laura, and I had been married 12 years, not glamorous years, but real ones, shared rent before we bought a house, shared debts, shared grocery lists, shared dreams about someday being more comfortable. I drove home with a strange numbness in my chest. When I walked in, she was standing in the living room, arms crossed, a folder of papers on the coffee table. Her posture was straighter than usual, like she'd already stepped into a different life. You're serious, I said. Yes. What happened? My aunt passed, she said. She left everything to me, property, investments, cash. It's more money than we'll ever need. I repeated. She shook her head. No, me. Something in my stomach dropped. I don't want this life anymore, she said, gesturing around the house. Struggling, budgeting, planning every dollar. I'm done. We've been doing that together, I said quietly. She gave a tight smile. No, I've been doing that. You've just been here. That hurt more than the money part. I work, I said. I've always worked. Not like I have, she snapped. I always earn more. I handled the savings, the bills, the future. You coasted. I stared at her. This wasn't the woman who used to fall asleep on my chest after a long day. This was someone who had been keeping score in silence. So the money changes everything, I asked. It changes what I have to tolerate, she said. Tolerate? She nodded. I don't have to settle anymore. Settle? Like I was a compromise she'd outgrown. You have a week, she added calmly. I'll cover a short-term rental. After that, you're on your own. I laughed once hollow. You sound like a landlord, not my wife. Maybe I've felt alone for a long time, she replied. I wanted to argue, to list all the nights I stayed up helping her with work stress, the time she lost her job and I carried us, the vacations we took on credit cards just to feel alive. But looking at her face, I realized something. This decision wasn't made today. It was just announced today. I packed quietly that night. Each folded shirt felt like a chapter closing. She didn't come into the bedroom. She stayed in the living room, scrolling her phone, already halfway gone. As I left the house a week later, she didn't hug me, didn't cry. Good luck, she said. Like I was moving cities, not losing a marriage. The apartment I moved into was small, plain, quiet. At first, the silence was heavy. I kept expecting her key in the door, her voice calling my name. But slowly, something shifted. I started sleeping better. I cooked simple meals, took walks, picked up extra freelance work. I wasn't rich, but my life felt honest. Meanwhile, Laura's new life was loud. Social media posts from fancy restaurants, designer stores, trips, new friends I'd never seen before. She looked happy. But happiness online is easy to stage. 6 months later, my phone rang, her name again. I almost ignored it. Hello. Her voice was softer this time, fragile. Hi. I didn't respond. I need to talk, she said. About what? A long pause. It's not what I thought. What is? This life, she whispered, the money, the people. I sat down slowly. They don't care about me, she continued. They care about what I can pay for, every dinner, every trip, every friend. It's all transactions. I remembered the nights she said we couldn't afford takeout. I didn't realize what I had, she said, voice shaking. I closed my eyes. I started seeing someone, she admitted. He was exciting, confident, but when I stopped paying for everything, he disappeared. I said nothing. Family treats me differently too, she said. Like I'm an ATM, no one just sits with me anymore. The silence stretched. I miss us, she said finally. I looked around my apartment, a secondhand couch, a lamp I fixed myself, a quiet room filled with peace. You didn't miss us when you told me to get out, I said calmly. I was overwhelmed, she cried. Everything changed so fast. No, I replied. You just showed me who you were when life got easier. She sobbed on the other end. Can we try again, she asked. That question didn't hit the way she expected. Because I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. I don't want to be with someone who sees me as a burden when things are hard, I said, and a mistake when things get lonely. I made a terrible mistake, she said. Yes, I agreed gently. I thought about the house, the memories, the version of us that existed before money exposed the cracks. I loved you, I said, but you loved the idea of a better life more than the life we built. She had no answer. Take care of yourself, I added. Wait, she started. But I ended the call. I didn't block her. I didn't need to. Because the hardest part wasn't losing her. It was realizing I had been loving someone who saw me as temporary. Laura thought millions would upgrade her life. She didn't realize she was downgrading the one thing money can't replace. Someone who would have stayed rich or broke. And the day she told me to get out of her house was the day I finally understood it had never truly been my home at all.